Welcome back, my fellow gears and cogs. This is Cl0ckw0rkKn1ght, and today we are back playing Seduce Me. That's right, grandfather just died. So, slowly though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as my grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began reading aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Wow, right there? That's kind of a douche move. Don't you, schedule a time after for the will reading? Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
Holy crap! I get a whole house to myself. What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had inherited the family estate at 18? That was impossible, and yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Wow, jealous dad.
Dear.
Thank you, Mom.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
Wow, that's all you care about, you jerk?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
Wow, okay, so the son obviously harbors resentment towards the dad. Yeesh. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
That is a good point.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
He just wants to get her away from him because he's bitter.
Honey, what do you think?
I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
Wow! Oh, you are such a jerk. I want to say stronger, but I'm trying to self-censor. Gosh, damn it. Oh, man, you are such a prick. There. He's an ungrateful, jealous prick. Also, if I'm thinking right, that sounds like it's Cl0ckw0rkKn1ght who voices him. That's a little surprising.
David!
Yeah, thank you, Mom! Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began to walk back to the car, disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they passed away? Yeah, okay, there we go. He just wanted to get to the will. That was the whole thing. Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, yet the grave was merely a stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. He told me to stay strong. Right now, I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Oh, flashback. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
You're an awesome grandpa. I was swept into a giant bear hug and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house. citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah. So what are we going to do today, Grandpa? Mommy says there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go?
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes. Oh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Oh, see, this is an awesome Grandpa. Like, the dad needed to be like this. No wonder the dad got nothing. Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile as I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive, and it can be like a little night light before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
Yeah. Yay. Best Grandpa ever. That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me eye level with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
Oh, I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing's wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you.
Yeah.
Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first, then pointed at my chest.
So stay strong. Promise?
For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading. But as quick as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Yeah. Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
Oh. You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I'd be ready to take it? Especially after this. A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. Oh, I want to keep going. Well, that's all the time I have for this episode, guys. Friendly reminder to keep those mustaches waxed and those corsets laced tight. Have a good day, guys, and hug your family. Just hug them. Okay? Bye, everyone.